This episode is brought to you by Nickelodeon's The Casa Grandes.
Hi, I'm Faith. This is the story of the principal. Don't turn out the lights. As Gretchen sat with the other freshmen on their first day of high school, she could tell something about Middle Heights High was different. But what Gretchen noticed the most was how strangely well behaved the students were. They were smiling and polite and almost too calm. Compared to the upperclassmen, the freshmen were unkempt, loud, and even a bit rowdy. Principal Richards welcomed them, and after a speech about how excellence is expected at Middle Heights High, he led the student body in singing the fight song. Middle Heights High forever, in unison we learn together. We're all bound for life, secrets safe and held so tight. Very quickly, Gretchen noticed that her classmates started to change. One by one, they began to adopt the smiling, polite, eerily calm demeanor of the upperclassmen. The hallways got quieter as students walked silently from room to room. Gretchen found herself appreciating the last few rambunctious and loud classmates she had left, like Chad Thomas. But that ended one day during first period, when Chad made a joke during Mrs. Woodrow's class and she sent him straight to detention. When he came back, he wasn't the same. Suddenly, he seemed like everyone else. His hair, usually messy, was perfectly combed. His jacket was clean. He had on a rigid smile and his eyes were blank. Something was happening in detention that was making the students change. As the days went on, Gretchen struggled to fit in. While she worked diligently in Mrs. Woodrow's class, she felt her classmates staring at her, suspicious of how she didn't fit in. As she felt their eyes on her, she got more and more nervous, and she dropped her pen on the floor. Mrs. Woodrow immediately spun around with glee, maniacally smiling in a way Gretchen had never seen before. It was like she'd been waiting for Gretchen to mess up. "Detention!" she screamed. Terrified, Gretchen grabbed her things and walked out of class. But as Gretchen passed Chad's desk, he reached out and grabbed her hand. "Don't go," he mouthed. She walked into the hallway and slowly toward the exit, ready to book it when she got outside those school doors. Suddenly, Principal Richards appeared in the hallway, blocking her way out and motioning her toward the detention room. There was no getting out of it. "Welcome to detention," Principal Richards said as he pressed play on a TV at the front of the room. She stared at the door, trying to figure out if she could make a run for it, when she found her eyes being drawn toward the screen. There were flashing lights, beautiful music, and she watched the whole thing. After that day, Gretchen fit in just fine.
Thanks again to Nickelodeon for sponsoring this episode. Be sure to check out the Casa Grandes Saturday mornings at 11:30, 10:30 Central.
Click over here to subscribe to DreamWorks TV, and click over here to see more spine-chilling stories. Comment down below if you're afraid of your principal. Don't turn out the lights.